everyone, welcome to Discover the OC. I'm Jules Wilson, your host and lifestyle realtor here at Seven Gables Real Estate. Now today, listen, our money matters, right, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we have Nick Pardini. He's with Spearhead Advisors right here in Newport. You're in Newport Beach, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and I wanted to have Nick, listen, there's a lot of financial planners, Nick, but one thing I love about you is you cover a multitude of clients for sure.
Yeah.
But tell people about, well, first off, how did you get started? You're so young, Nick, to be a wealth advisor. No offense, what makes you so amazing?
Okay. Well, I mean, it's a long story. I graduated from college during the financial crisis. I went to a good school, UC Santa Barbara, but it wasn't Harvard. And so as a result, there was like nothing.
No jobs, right?
And so I kind of just did some random back office job in finance to start, just to prove to my parents I could hold a job. I stayed for 6 months and I got on a plane to Barbados.
Oh my God. Okay.
And
what
they weren't too
happened
happy when I quit. Neither were my grandparents.
Right, I'm sure.
But then I went to graduate school, and then I left graduate school to start my first business, which was a commodity trading focused fund, and I moved out to Singapore to do that.
Wow.
And I built a lot of interesting experience and made some connections, learning about emerging market investing and the commodities market. And I leveraged that opportunity to later work at a large options hedge fund in San Francisco.
Wow, that's the big guys.
Yeah, I was their main macro and fundamental equity strategist. And I worked there until I started my own research firm. And then I realized during the pandemic and in the wake of that, especially once interest rates started going up, a lot of people were losing money and they didn't really know what to do with their portfolios. And there's millennials, which is my age group, was starting to actually accumulate some income.
Right.
But a lot of these advisors wouldn't take them on because they haven't built the nest egg yet.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? There's a much bigger opportunity out there for me is to serve the individual client level and bring my institutional expertise than if I just continue just to provide research solely for hedge funds and other big institutional investors.
Right, take what you know and use it to actually serve the end user, so to speak.
So like that's different to me, and I don't really call myself a financial planner because my firm doesn't do any financial planning. But what we do is with the money you do have, we build customized portfolios and we provide institutional level expertise. My expertise is in equities and the derivatives market, and my business partner David's expertise is in the fixed income and bond market.
Okay, well, one reason I really wanted to have, a couple reasons here, but one of the main reasons I wanted to have Nick on today is, listen, you know, Dylan Wilson, my son, is my partner.
Yeah. He's
23.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes people think they need to wait till they get older and have this big nest egg to talk to someone like you. But you are passionate about, you know, working with younger people and bringing them up with you, right? As they make more, you make more, and vice versa. So what's the minimum amount of money that you will take, or whatever it is?
Yeah, it depends on age. For younger, our general minimum is 500,000 in assets. But for younger people, I'm generally meaning like 45 and under.
Yep.
They need to be saving at least $4,000 to $5,000 a month. And our first client actually was a young guy in his early 20s who had a well-paying job and is saving a lot, but didn't
know what to do with it, right? Yeah.
And he's like, I want to build a portfolio that has these kind of goals, and I will finance it over time by just contributing.
Wonderful.
And we just grow with our clients. I'm a young guy. I'm in my 30s. I'll be around for at least 30 years in the business.
Yeah.
I can afford to grow with my clients.
Wonderful.
And I think that there is a lot of younger people want something more sophisticated than throwing half of it into a robo-advisor that's a mix of S&P and the ag, and then gambling the rest on cryptocurrency.
Right. No, I love that. Once again, so if you have around 4,000 or 5,000, like, you know, Dylan's 23, just start out with you and kind of grow your portfolio sort of together under your guidance.
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic. I don't know if anyone else is doing that
yet.
Yeah,
and the fact that people are contributing consistently
it
means that we can selectively build the portfolio in the pieces based on what the opportunities the market is giving us, and also gives you a lot more flexibility to take more risks that make sense for long-term growth that somebody who has a big nest egg and can't afford to have it drop cannot take advantage of similar opportunities.
Right. Well, I know you're becoming quite renowned, Nick, really, in your industry. I know you're speaking in San Francisco soon.
Yeah.
That's crazy at your age. But you also, tell us about your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel called Analyzing Finance with Nick. It's kind of what I discuss bigger picture issues in investments, macroeconomics, and finance and how it directly applies to my viewers' lives. And I release a video about once a week, and that's kind of what we talk about. Like, and we try to make it so that it's relatable in a way. Like on one of our most recent videos, we kind of discussed basically how there's a convergence between, say, like the wages in blue collar and white collar labor, and how that's affecting our economic system and political voting patterns. We did another one about how housing may not be that expensive. Actually, it's just that incomes are dropping. As a real estate person, that might be relevant.
Right.
Like you hear all these millennials and Gen Zers complain they can't afford to buy a house.
Right.
And if you look at a house in gold bars, it's not that much more expensive than it was, say, in the 1990s.
Yeah.
The difference now is just that in real purchasing power, wages have not caught up.
Yeah, right.
And that's where the rub is, especially a place like California.
Yeah, that's true. So when you first, you said you originally were going to get your master's.
Yeah.
And then what caused you to deviate from that?
I mean, I met with my trading mentor shortly after I quit that job up in the Bay Area that I did first out of college. And he basically told me that I needed to go out to Asia. Because back then, he said that's like the current administration was either going to tax or inflate all of your money away. Their economy is still growing there. There's a lot of things going on. People are buying basic things that we take for granted for the first time.
Oh.
That's where you go and make your money. And he was right for a time, but I timed it wrong. I went right at the top of Asia's performance relative to the U.S., which was 2012. And I still learned a lot from it, but it wasn't quite the business opportunity I thought it was going to be. But in terms of like the knowledge and the skill set I developed from it, it's really how I helped develop my career today. And I wrote actually one of my books out there, which was about how to trade emerging market currencies.
Is that what the book is called?
The Definitive Guide to Emerging Market Currencies.
The Definitive Guide to Emerging Market Currencies.
Yeah.
And you can get that where?
On Amazon.
Nice.
Yeah.
When did you publish that?
2013.
Is that a bestseller yet?
I don't know.
That's why you're on today. We need to help you make that a bestseller. Well, once again, Nick, you are so young, but I know that even from a young age, you've had a passion for this, right?
Yeah.
And just a real innate desire.
I have an interesting story about how I got into the financial markets. The person who taught me how to trade was actually my grandmother.
Oh.
She was really into investments, and especially once they reached retirement age and she got a little bit of inheritance, she basically deployed that into a mix of stocks and real estate. I didn't really like real estate as much from an investment perspective because I value liquidity.
Yeah.
Like if you make a bad decision in real estate, you're stuck in it for who knows how long. Whereas if you make a bad decision in a stock, you can recalibrate and change right away.
Yeah.
And so
real estate's always good though. I'm the realtor.
Yeah.
I'm just joking with you.
I mean, I was more drawn to the capital markets and
the movement of it too, right?
And I got taught, and I feel like it's the ultimate game of chess. Before I got into trading, I was a competitive chess player.
Oh, okay.
And instead of like only having 64 squares and 16 pieces, you have every option you can possibly do, like stocks, bonds, options, futures, and a bunch of different countries, a bunch of different industries. If you have a view on the world in any way, shape, or form, there's a way you can express it.
Nice.
And I got stocks instead of cash when I was a kid from my grandparents, and then my grandmother taught me the basics of investing. And I thought, I'd have to wait to do this until I was like 60, like her, and develop a savings from some other profession. And then I went to college, I worked under a hedge fund manager, and he kind of told me, like, look, you can actually get paid to do this for other people and do it for a career instead of waiting until you're 60.
Nice.
Like, okay, that sounds good. That's the path I'm going to pursue.
Well, I know one thing about Nick, you are a constant learner. You're watching and reading and obviously writing. You wrote a book.
No.
So therefore, that wealth of knowledge you pass on to your clients. But once again, they're not financial planners. They're more like wealth advisors. But I love the fact that I've never heard of anyone, Nick, who's willing to help the people just starting out. I love how you said you'd like to build their net worth and ride with them.
Yeah.
So how do people get a hold of you?
Okay, the best way to get a hold of us is for Spearhead, you can contact us via email. You can contact me at nick@spearhead.investments. You go to my YouTube channel, Analyzing Finance with Nick, if you want to subscribe and get that information. You could go to our website, spearhead.investments as well.
Wonderful.
Those are probably the best way to contact So you can put that in the description of this
Of course
video.
we will. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you can also find me on LinkedIn
Wonderful.
and X.
Well, Nick, once again, I know it's a lot of work to stay up to date. I mean, to a lot of people, it's just like white noise. I can't keep track of interest rates, stocks, bonds, futures, trade. What do I do? So Nick is the guy who can take care of that for you. And I know one thing about you, you're really honest and ethical. Your family's been in Newport a long time. So I don't think you're going anywhere.
No.
So.
I mean, I moved back as soon as I got the opportunity.
Yeah.
I went away for 10 years for college and to build my career, but I moved back in 2018 when life permitted me to do so. And
Wonderful.
I don't plan on going away.
Well, so good to have you. I appreciate your passion, your knowledge, and really wanting to help others, especially the young people. So give
welcome.
Nick a call.